Your brain loves to keep score. It tracks wins, losses, rivalries. A teammate gets recognized and your mind whispers, "Great, now you're behind." A stakeholder's idea gets prioritized and suddenly it feels like the design team has lost something. That's the zero-sum bias. It's the belief that someone else's win automatically equals your loss. It's an internal sports announcer shouting the play-by-play on a contest that literally no one else is playing. And if that scoreboard has been shaping how you see yourself and your team, stick around because this week we're talking about why your brain invented the game in the first place and what you can do to stop competing in a contest you never signed up for. What's up, UX fam? Welcome to another edition of the Cognition Catalog, where every week or so, we'll dig into a new cognitive bias and explore how that bias can impact how our team works together and what we can do to ensure we don't get caught up in the pitfalls. Because working with people is hard, and the more insights we have into the human condition make it just a little bit easier. To learn more about the zero-sum bias, you can find more resources at cognitioncatalog.com and click the little bell down there so you get notified when a new episode drops so you never have to worry about falling for any of these biases again. Shout out to this week's sponsor, Mobbin. If you're tired of staring at a blank Figma canvas, Mobbin gives you instant access to over 400,000 beautifully designed UI screens and user flows with a library that grows bigger every week. Kickstart your creativity, streamline your workflow, and level up your design process. Visit mobbin.com/beyondux to get 20% off Mobbin Pro and never run out of inspiration again. And as always, thanks so much to Chris, Siraquan, Stacy, Radu, Megan, Andrew, John, Mark, Kevin, Jason, Michelle, Marty, Tino, Adina, and Zoe for all their support. And if you want to join these fine folks and many others and help keep the show independent and ad-free, you'll get exclusive access to the entire video library of episodes, including episodes before they're even released. For more information on how you can support the show and help more people find out about what we're doing, make sure to check out beyonduxdesign.com/support. If a stakeholder wins, designers lose. If the product manager wins, users lose. If we add more features, the product suffers. We repeat these ideas so often that they can start to feel like cold, hard facts. But most of the time, they aren't facts at all. If a stakeholder wins, does it really mean designers lose? If the PM wins, does that really mean unhappy users? If we add features, does that really mean the product suffers? Of course not. These assumptions come from a mindset, not reality. Zero-sum thinking frames collaboration like a competition, even when everyone is working towards the same goal. A PM pushes for a business outcome and design feels overridden. Design advocates for usability and engineering feels blocked. Engineering asks for time and product fears slow progress. Now, none of these are true losses. They're just competing constraints that the team is trying to balance. So what is zero-sum bias? Well, we tend to believe that resources are limited and that any advantage for one party must come at the expense of another. And in reality, many situations are non-zero-sum where mutual benefit is absolutely 100% possible. The concept of zero-sum thinking originates in early economic theories and game theory. The term zero-sum comes from math, where the total of gains and losses among the players always adds up to zero. John von Neumann and Oscar Morgenstern first formally described this concept in their 1944 book, Theory of Games and Economic Behavior. And throughout history, our ancestors often faced genuine scarcity, where one person's gain did mean another's loss. And this was particularly true in hunter-gatherer societies with limited food and limited resources. But as societies developed and became more complex, this way of thinking persisted even when it was no longer applicable. In psychology, research on the zero-sum bias gained traction in the late 20th century when studies began to explore how this cognitive shortcut affects things like decision-making, negotiations, and interpersonal relationships. And researchers found that this bias can be particularly strong in competitive environments or when people feel threatened or insecure. Hello, toxic work environments. For teams, the zero-sum bias can lead to fixed mindset where team members believe that there is only one winner and that everybody else is going to lose. And this creates a competitive atmosphere where team members are pitted against each other rather than working together towards a common goal. For example, if one team member is given more resources or attention, others may assume that they're losing out, leading to resentment and conflict. But it's important to remember that team meetings are not poker tables and nobody is taking chips from you. It just feels that way because our brains misinterpret normal collaboration as a threat when we turn everyone else into others. And that's because scarcity shaped our evolutionary past, and those remnants of that evolutionary wiring are still active in our tiny little animal brains today. So our modern workplace, full of shared goals and interdependence and cross-functional teams, gets filtered through instincts built for survival, not teamwork. But in reality, multiple people and multiple priorities can win at the same time. You can advocate for users and support business goals. Engineering can reduce tech debt and keep shipping. Stakeholders can contribute ideas without designers losing influence. We just have to stop treating collaboration like a contest. In reality, we can get what we want without compromising the user's experience, the business goals, or each other's sanity by working together, by sharing context, by speaking openly about what we're solving for, by pushing for alignment instead of control. If we do these things instead, we can find solutions that genuinely benefit everybody on the team. Non-zero-sum thinking can lead to a culture of mutual support and collaboration. When team members see each other's success as a positive force rather than a threat, they're more likely to work together towards a common goal. If one team member has an idea, other people on the team may be inspired to build on that idea, which can create a snowball effect of new ideas and innovative solutions. Nothing is stopping us from creating win-win outcomes except the belief that they aren't possible in the first place. So the next time you find yourself thinking, if they win, I lose, take a step back and challenge that assumption. Ask yourself, is it really a zero-sum game? And what are the benefits of working together? I bet you'll find that everybody can get what they need. So here are a few things I think you can try to combat zero-sum bias. First, think in terms of mutual benefit. Recognize that one person's success can create opportunities for everybody else in the team. Doing this can create a positive and supportive environment where everybody can thrive. Next, foster a culture of social support. Encourage team members to support each other rather than compete. Implement team-building activities, regular check-ins, and open communication channels so everybody feels part of the same team moving in the same direction. Next, align incentives with collaborative behavior. Make sure that your reward and recognition systems value teamwork and collective achievements, not only individual performance. And this can help shift the focus from personal gains to shared success. Next, celebrate collective success. Recognize and celebrate the success of the team rather than only individual achievements. This can create a sense of shared ownership and accountability, which can lead to increased motivation and collaboration overall. And then lastly, lead by example. By modeling the behavior that we expect from our team, we set the tone for a culture that prioritizes collaboration, support, and collective success. And it encourages everybody else in the team to do the same, especially if we're leaders. Well, all right, y'all, that's it for the Cognition Catalog today. I hope I helped shed a little bit more on what zero-sum bias is and how we can avoid some of those pitfalls at work. But I'm curious, have you run into any issues related to zero-sum bias? How'd you get through it? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know what you think on LinkedIn or shoot me an email at hello@beyonduxdesign.com. I would love to hear from you. To learn more about zero-sum bias, you can find more resources at cognitioncatalog.com and click the little bell down there so you get notified when a new episode drops so you never have to worry about falling for any of these biases again. And if you want to pick up some big, beautiful art prints of some select biases, make sure to check out beyonduxdesign.com/shop. Get free shipping on all orders over $30 and use the promo code YouTube to get 10% off your entire order. And if you have a favorite bias that you want to see in print, let me know. I'd be happy to take requests. And if you're tired of staring at a blank Figma canvas, Mobbin gives you access to over 400,000 beautifully designed UI screens and user flows with a library that grows bigger every week. Kickstart your creativity, streamline your workflow, and level up your design process. Visit mobbin.com/beyondux to get 20% off Mobbin Pro and never run out of inspiration again. Help keep the show independent and ad-free. Check out beyonduxdesign.com/support to find out how. You can join Chris, Siraquan, Stacy, Radu, Megan, Andrew, John, Mark, Kevin, Jason, Michelle, Marty, Tino, Adina, Zoe, and many others, and help keep the show independent and ad-free. You'll get exclusive access to the entire video library of episodes, including episodes before they're even released. Get instant access to those videos right now for as little as $5 a month. And until next time, remember, you're more than a designer because there's more to UX and design. I'll see you around. Take care, y'all.